Duran has made his way into the spotlight of media with his impressive goals from the bench. Okay, since he had been linked to Chelsea once, I would like to play out what will happen if we had Duran starting for Chelsea instead of Jackson. Keep in mind that he will be subjected to the philosophy of Maresca. Also, I will use stats to interpret his performance and how that affects the team, since finding video evidence could be a little tricky considering how sometimes YouTube could do its thing with copyright claim. So Maresca is that type of a manager that wants everyone in his team to play football, and that means that if you're a striker, your technique should be on point. Jackson fits perfectly because he naturally isn't a striker. I personally believe the reason why he plays as one is due to his physique. And interestingly enough, he shares the same physical attributes as Duran. They are all 6'1". Having understand what the manager requires, we want to put Duran under test by making some statistical comparisons with Jackson. With this, we will know what elements he adds and what elements we lose with Duran as the striker. Note that we will be considering just the attacking stats. Now, Jackson has scored 4 league goals in 6 league appearances, all of which he starts for Chelsea. This means that he averages 0.81 goals per game. Duran has also made 6 league appearances, but note that the appearances are substitute appearances. During that time, he has scored 4 goals, averaging 2.29 goals per 90. The stats seems to point favorably to Duran. But consider this for a second. Duran normally scores these goals after he comes on as a sub. Does this mean that he is most effective when the opposition is worn out and there are tons of space to exploit? Is it because Aston Villa finish off teams early enough, henceforth opposition teams are forced to take risks, giving Duran the opportunity to exploit those spaces? Why does Emery not start him despite his good goal scoring form off the bench? But there is no denial that he is much more deadly than Jackson. The output he has given us on paper shows that when given more chances, he will score more goals. Chelsea creates lots of chances for Jackson. Jackson has 14 and counting shots for Chelsea. Whilst 10 has been on target, his 4 goals scored shows how poor his finishing is, and incredibly, the goals he scored mostly are in the box. It tells you the amount of big chances he gets in the box and how often he misses them. Duran, on the other hand, is a killer. He has just 9 shots and 5 of them on target. And out of the 5, 4 of them ended up at the back of the net. This means that once the ball enters the goal, no keeper is stopping his shots most of the time. Although he has scored 3 of his goals inside the box, he has 1 goal outside the box. This is a testament to his technique on his shots, and that is why, despite starting off the bench, he is still incredibly prolific, especially with the amount of chances Villa creates and his own willingness to take shots, with his completing over 5 shots per game. Oh, what I would say is, if we were to swap Jackson for Duran, we are getting more goals. Now, Maresca wants a striker to be part of the build-up. But if you look at the profile of player Duran is, I'm not sure Duran is that sort of player that especially thrives on that. And the statistics do show this, that Duran often prefers to move ahead of the team to try and exploit the space in behind the opponent. Then the ball is hit long to find him. In fact, that is how Aston Villa themselves play. If you look at the way Aston Villa line up, okay, so this is how they do line up, okay. Most often 4-4-1-1, right? The ball is hit long from the goalkeeper. Then maybe it finds their center forward, okay, who knocks the ball down so that the midfielders could latch onto it. All right. Or if there is a lot of space, they are technically gifted men in Yuri Tillemans and co will then find him in space. So looking at the disparity when it comes to style of play, I feel like perhaps that can be a problem for Duran in a sense, because Maresca prefers his strikers to sometimes drop deep to partake in build-up, okay, to overload the middle. And if Duran is incapable of doing this, then he's going to be a misfit in the squad.
So far we've discussed which of these two strikers benefits Maresca's system and philosophy, and clearly it is just Jackson because of how Maresca wants to play. But the question we need to ask ourselves is, what does Chelsea actually need? Do we need more creators? In fact, there is Cole Palmer, there is Sancho, there is Enzo Fernandez. Even the fullbacks are creative. Liverpool is also creative. Do we need more of them? Can't we sacrifice the striker's position at least for the sake of goals, instead of trying to have more men in the middle to try to build up and score goals? Think about the amount of chances we've missed because our centre forward is not good at scoring goals. No, think about this. So, Man City is that team that wants everybody, including the striker, to be very good on the ball. But they ended up with Haaland. Why was that? Is it because Haaland is technically gifted? I'm not sure. But they know that they could get physicality and goal scoring from him. And De Bruyne and the rest of the players who are very good with their passing are doing that to a T. Can Maresca also do the same thing for Duran if he happens to end up in Chelsea? Hopefully he does, because I think we are going to get more goals and more benefits from him. So I think he's going to add more when it comes to our goal tally compared to Jackson. And I wouldn't mind if he actually is a main striker going forward. This is the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section below. Which of these two strikers would you prefer? Jackson or